A man woke up from a drunken stupor to find himself stripped naked and tied to a chair, surrounded by cash strewn all over the floor. Before he could comprehend what was happening, he felt his mouth being forced open and saw a person wearing a dog face mask continuously stuffing money into his mouth. The man soon found himself unable to breathe, his mouth crammed full of banknotes, leading to his suffocation and death. The money that caused the man's fatal suffocation amounted to a staggering 25 billion, all of which was his illegal profit from distributing child pornography. Although the man had been arrested and imprisoned for this crime, he managed to exploit legal loopholes and was released after serving a mere 1 year and 6 months, benefiting from his foreign wife's privileges. On the day of his release, despite countless ordinary citizens protesting outside the police station, the man, leveraging his powerful connections, arrogantly declared his innocence in front of numerous media cameras. Upon his release, he immediately resumed his foul activities, continuing to distribute child pornography. This time, to avoid being caught again, he specifically targeted powerless orphans. The law could not punish him, but a mysterious figure wearing a dog face mask took on the role of the enforcer. Many criminals who cannot be punished by the law are dealt with by a mysterious figure wearing a dog-faced mask. The public calls him the dog-faced judge. The dog-faced judge has sparked a wave of mass judgments. He sends a death penalty voting message to everyone's phone, and if more than 50% of the votes in favor of executing a man are received within an hour, the dog-faced judge will personally execute the death penalty. The man is still celebrating his freedom at a nightclub at this time. He is arrogant and even votes for himself. Not only that, but he also asks his friends to vote for him. At this time, he has no idea how much trouble he has gotten himself into. The scene shifts, and when the man reappears in the public eye, he is already stripped naked and tied to a chair. Gone is his previous arrogance. He pleads with the dog-faced judge, even offering all his money to buy his life. The dog-faced judge remains silent, only showing the man the final voting results on his phony 84% in favor of executing him. Following protocol, the dog-faced judge proceeds to execute the man. As Officer Jack left the scene, the police, having witnessed the live broadcast of the dog-faced judge carrying out the execution, arrived too late to save the man who had already been hanged. Though many officers believed the man deserved his fate, they were duty-bound to apprehend the vigilante. However, the elusive vigilante left no evidence at the scene, making their task akin to finding a needle in a haystack. Shortly after Officer Jack departed, everyone's phones received another live message from the dog-faced judge. In this broadcast, he exposed the crimes of the deceased man, many of which had gone unnoticed even by law enforcement. In the closing moments of the broadcast, the dog-faced judge announced that on the 15th and 30th of every month at 10 p.m., he would hold votes targeting unrepentant criminals who evade justice. If more than half the votes favored execution, he would carry it out immediately. The deeds of the dog-faced judge spread and became known among the citizens as the light of the sea. Facing the challenge posed by the dog-faced judge, the police took emergency measures and appointed Jack as the team leader. As the investigation began, Cyber Officer Mary approached Jack with crucial leads. Claiming to know the true identity of the dog-faced judge, she presented a video clip, a test video where the dog-faced judge appeared for software testing. A particular sentence in the video raised suspicion. Just thinking about those innocent demons living happily in the world, I find it unbearable. The concept of innocent demons first emerged 8 years ago, when a professor's daughter was brutally murdered with 22 stabs. Yet her killer was acquitted, unable to accept the verdict. The professor personally stabbed the culprit to death. During his final statement in court, he mentioned these innocent demons. While the professor is currently serving a prison sentence and unable to leave or communicate with the outside world, Jack doesn't believe the professor could be involved in a new murder case. However, the phrase innocent demons raised suspicions about the professor. Despite Jack's attempt to meet the professor in prison, he was flatly refused. With no leads, Jack decided to start from the body. Based on the man's call records, Jack discovered his last known location was a nightclub. From the bartender, Jack learned the man had been taken away by a chauffeur, rather than a licensed taxi driver, who left his business card behind. Using the information on the card, Jack tracked down the chauffeur. The driver claimed he received a text message from the man requesting a ride that night. After dropping him off, as instructed in the text, he took the money and left. However, the man was clearly intoxicated at the time, raising the question, who sent that text message? The police investigation revealed that the phone number used to send the text message was obtained illegally, making it impossible to trace the buyer's identity. Furthermore, the taxi involved had no registered owner information. By the time Jack located the taxi, It had been crushed into scrap metal, with its dashcam rendered useless. This dead end marked the end of Jack's lead. As the story of the dog-faced judge's quest for justice continues, the outcome of the showdown between the police and the vigilante remains uncertain. Stay tuned for the next chapter in this ongoing tale.